As you can see, this one has a red holographic cheek. Again, it's just boosting it up a bit. It gives you a lot of options having a fly, and this style works. It could represent a few different flies, great for competition anglers, as well as obviously the pleasure fisher. But anyway, for the lochs and the lakes of the UK, this is a great fly to have. Anyway, materials I'm going to be using, hook wise is a B175 size 12. You can tie them between, say, you can tie them any size you want, 16s up. I mean, I've tied them in size 8s, so entirely up to yourself. They do represent a few flies, as I said. For the tail and the throat, I'm going to be using a dyed black Chinese cockhackle. For the rib, this is UTC thread, it's just the red one. For the body, it's dyed black peacock herring. And for the throat, the cheeks, I'm going to be using red holographic. This is a medium. Okay, and the company I would be using would be, again, the UTC. There you go, that's a larger one. Slightly changed the colour of it now, which I don't like too much, but I would like to see the darker red. They got a kind of pinky red. It does work, but I preferably the original one was the darker red, without that fluorescent pinky colour through it. But anyway, thread I'm going to be using is the Uni 80 black. It's very fine, it's easy, you get a lot of turns in there. I like the Uni thread. Anyway, lay a thread down the hook shank, you can run it down to the line with the barb. You can break that off. Get a few fibres. Now, if you can see here, if you bring the fibres 90 degrees from the stem, the tips line up naturally themselves, and all you have to do is pull them off. A couple of pinches there will form the tail. Tie them on. Now I'm looking for the tail length round about the shank length. Trim away the waist, but don't trim it right down here, trim it up here. This helps to keep a lovely, a nice body, and as well tie it down, never pull out. Get your red wire, offer it to the side, it's a couple of turns to hold, and then take 2 lengths of peacock herring. Now I usually tie it in by the tip, so I usually take away the kind of finer points away first, cut an inch or 2 down from the points, and then tie them in. Okay, just a wee touch long there, so I'll trim away. As you can see, I've kept them the same length as the body. Again, it helps to build up the body slightly, and at the same time gives you a better plane here for lying materials down. If you've got a lumpy bumpy body, nothing will sit right. Anyway, the herald, peacock herald, I'm bringing the opposite way, actually wind, is the weakest fibre, and at the same time when you bring your rib up through, it'll catch in more of the fibre, and at the same time you'll see the red wire better. It's a couple of turns to lock it down. Bring your wire up through, nice and tight, all the way up. Now, if you find your heralds a bit long, you can actually trim the peacock herald if you want. I've done that a lot of times, but just now I'm just going to keep it as it is. It doesn't take away the effectiveness of the fly or anything like that, it just makes it much thinner, but that's okay. Now for the throat, back to the Chinese cockhackle, a few fibres off to form the throat, much the same amount as they have in the tail, but in the throat. Lengthwise, it's the length of the body, length of the tail, length of the throat as well, so it all balances, you see. Now, you can actually turn the hook upside down and put it on the throat that way if you want, but what I like to do is pinch and loop. You can pinch and loop down the way, you can pinch and loop up the way. Just hold what you want as a throat, your finger and thumb, just bring the thread up, nice and straight, through your fingers, form that loop. trim away your waste. Just be careful you don't get the thread there. And then before you do anything else, tidy up. Now the way I put the cheeks on is very simple, and it saves waste as well. Now I want maybe 2 or 3 mil of a, like it forms like a wing bud or a cheek, depending on how you want to call it. Just on this side, this is on my side, just hold it with my thumb, like that. A couple of turns just to hold, and as you see, on the other side. That's as much as you're looking for. You take your thread down towards the eye, and you bring this on the other side, and bring the thread back up. Okay. Just have a wee look to see where it's sitting. If it's not right, what you can do is make it right, force it, you're the tire, get the thread in there, tighten up. It's ideal. Carry on forming the head. What I normally do is get straight in with finish. To trim, I like to look down from the top. You can actually get your scissors in line with the bud at this side, and then come round, trim. So another look to see they're okay. So that's fine. It's the matter now of varnishing the head. I use a brush to varnish the head. Use a needle if you want. Just lightly touched the head as you go round. You happy with that? And that's your black Diawl Bach with the red holographic cheeks.